I was wondering if you would like to have sex.
Sometimes love isn't all you need.
With you?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that did not need a love story.
I'm so worried about
What's that?
We work together.
For this list, we're taking a look at movies with romantic subplots that added little to the narrative and really could have been edited out altogether.
Why don't you call me back?
I don't have anything else to say.
Number 10, Interstellar.
Murph, I can see his car! He's coming, Murph!
Okay.
To some extent, Interstellar didn't give us the conventional love story we expected. The audience keeps waiting for an attraction to blossom between Matthew McConaughey's Cooper and Anne Hathaway's Amelia, but the two keep things strictly professional.
I'm not gonna make it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yet we still get a tacked-on romance between Jessica Chastain's Murph and Topher Grace's Getty.
What are they hoping to find?
Survival.
No offense to Grace, but it feels like his character was thrown in just so his girlfriend could have somebody to kiss in the final hour. Since their romance is already underdeveloped, why not just remove it entirely?
It's worthless.
Interstellar is more about the bonds that unite family and all of space and time anyway. We think that's enough.
Murph, don't people have a right to know?
Number 9, Premium Rush.
Hey, Jersey, you want to move your fat-ass SUV?
You know how sexy you are when you talk like that.
This flick has plenty of high-speed thrills, but it occasionally hits the brakes to make room for a token love story.
That was the most fun I ever had with my clothes on.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Wiley and Dania Ramirez's Vanessa play fellow bike messengers and a subpar couple.
Aren't you afraid you're gonna get killed?
Yeah, but if it comes, that's just gonna come out of nowhere.
If you think about it, there was no reason to make these two a couple, especially since they never display much chemistry.
You believe in love.
Yeah, but you know, it was the Taoists that believed in luck. The Buddha rejected all that. He insisted on cause and effect.
They could have just been friends or colleagues, and it wouldn't have altered the plot at all, proving again that just because a movie can have a romance doesn't mean it needs to.
I know.
Number 8, Demolition Man.
You are in the center of what used to be Los Angeles.
That's great.
After being cryogenically frozen, Sergeant John Spartan awakens to a future where physical intimacy is considered taboo.
Now just relax. We'll begin in a few seconds.
Begin what?
Having sex, of course.
Although people can still get freaky through virtual reality, this doesn't satisfy Spartan. He tries to lay one on Lieutenant Lenina Huxley, who views his sexual urges as savage behavior.
What are you doing?
Breaking the law.
You are a savage creature, John Spartan.
The satirical approach to Spartan and Huxley's relationship makes them a somewhat unique duo. If anything, they feel more like partners than lovers.
This would create a monster.
Who develops these programs?
The film doesn't even really play up the romantic angle too much. In the end, however, Demolition Man succumbs to the trope that a man needs to save the day and get the girl.
It's supposed to be a team.
We are.
Number 7, Godzilla.
It's not the end of the world.
This recent reboot was advertised as a showdown between Godzilla and Heisenberg himself, Bryan Cranston. But the main dynamic ends up being between Aaron Taylor Johnson's Ford and his wife, Elizabeth Olsen's Elle.
Yeah, I missed your laugh.
I missed you.
While the film still delivers in the action department, matters drag a little whenever the plot cuts back to our separated lovers. Ultimately, the soldier and loving wife storyline feels contrived here, and more like a throw-in, especially considering we really just want to see the King of Monsters fight other kaiju and destroy a few cities. The human characters are mostly inconsequential, as is the romance factor.
You know you're only gonna be gone for a few days, right? And then you are gonna come back to me.
Number 6, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Wear your jewels to bed, princess?
Yeah? And nothing else. It shock you?
Nobody likely would have complained if Willie Scott had been cut from Temple of Doom. While Kate Capshaw does what she can in the role, she's simply given an obnoxious character to work with.
Where's my gun? Where's my gun?
I burnt my fingers and I cracked a nail!
Considering Willie's whiny nature, we can't fathom why Indy is attracted to this damsel in distress, or why he constantly saves her.
Are you crazy?
I'm not leaving here without the stones.
By the time the credits roll, you'd think that Indy would want to distance himself from her as much as possible. Instead, he inexplicably pulls her in for a kiss. Interestingly, the real love story here took place off-screen. During the film's production, Capshaw met her future husband, Steven Spielberg.
Aren't you going to introduce us?
Number 5. Star Trek.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Although Captain Kirk and Uhura shared an iconic kiss in the original Star Trek series, Uhura was initially supposed to lock lips with everyone's favorite Vulcan. Perhaps this is why Mr. Spock and Uhura were paired together in J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot of the franchise.
I need everyone to continue performing admirably.
This decision ultimately ended up being pointless, however, since the filmmakers did so little with their relationship. Spock and Uhura's romance is given minimal development, and we never come to understand why they're together.
What do you need? Tell me. Tell me.
The 2013 follow-up didn't add much to the romance either. Whether you're a Trekker or a casual Star Trek fan, it's safe to say they're nobody's favorite pairing.
I will be back.
You better be.
Number 4. Transporter 2.
I don't usually do this sort of a job.
I thought you were a professional driver.
In the second entry of this Jason Statham action franchise, our hero is forced to babysit and later rescue a young boy from some seriously kitted out kidnappers. This precious child has an attractive mother named Audrey Billings, who is, of course, going through marital troubles with her workaholic husband.
Thank you, Frank. For the time. The respect. I think it's what I needed the most.
Since Frank Martin has been more of a father figure to Jack, Audrey throws herself at him. The transporter decides not to mix business with pleasure, though.
What are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Since their romance goes nowhere fast, there was no reason to turn Audrey into a potential love interest. Besides, Frank will never be able to love a woman more than he loves his cars.
Turn around.
Number 3. Jurassic World.
Just like taking a stroll through the woods 65 million years ago.
Much like Godzilla, people line up for a Jurassic Park movie just so they can see big, bloodthirsty dinosaurs do their thing. Whether you like the human characters in Jurassic World or not, we can all agree that Owen and Claire's romance was the least interesting aspect of the film.
I don't control the raptors, it's a relationship. It's based on mutual respect. That's why you and I never had a second date.
Excuse me, I never wanted a second date.
Prints out an itinerary for a night out.
We don't learn much about their relationship, other than that they previously had one bad date. Then, out of the blue, these two polar opposites just start making out in the middle of a pterodactyl attack. And honestly, who cares about love when the Indominus Rex and T-Rex are fighting each other? Number 2. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Didn't realize you were waiting.
I would have joined you, but it didn't seem like the right time.
Since there are numerous entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the filmmakers have plenty of time to flesh out all the characters. So, why does the love story between Natasha Romanoff and Bruce Banner come out of absolutely nowhere?
What are you doing?
I'm running with it. With you.
These two barely interacted in the past, and now they're getting all mushy?
Are you out of your mind?
We're gonna be honest. Black Widow arguably had more chemistry with Captain America in The Winter Soldier, while the Hulk had more chemistry with Iron Man in the initial Avengers movie.
It's a terrible privilege.
But you can control it.
It's possible future films in the franchise will better develop this relationship. Here, however, their romance was about as necessary as Thor's cave story subplot.
Yes, of course. Victory should be honored with revels.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
What's that then?
That is a gift from Mr. Cutting.
Well, I'm not giving up on you.
Men are so bad at this. Shh. Somebody tell me.
Number 1, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Lie still.
Even though J.R.R. Tolkien's original children's book was only about 300 pages long, Peter Jackson felt it necessary to stretch the material out to 3 movies.
Inogoth. Amana tirgin Tauriel.
Udanada. Eorha. Benogoth.
Because of this, the Hobbit trilogy introduced several new subplots and characters, including a badass elf named Tauriel, who gets her very own underdeveloped romance with the dwarf Keeley.
I always thought it is a cold light. Remote and far away.
It is memory. Precious and pure. Like your promise.
The beginning of their relationship was all the red flag we needed. Keeley just makes a tasteless joke about searching his trousers, and suddenly Tauriel's smitten with him.
Aren't you going to search me? I could have anything down my trousers.
Or nothing.
The relationship lacks depth and meaning, and adds nothing to the main plot, which makes it hard for the audience to get invested when the love story ends in tragedy.
Keep it. As a promise.
Do you agree with our list? What movie do you think had the most unnecessary love story?
What do you say we just do it the old-fashioned way?
Ew, disgusting.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means I'm ready to go.
Okay.